thank you for joining me on another episode of Terraria. Now, earlier I got a message that said, you feel an evil presence watching you as you now see by the Eye of Cthulhu spawn. So in this episode, I fight the Eye of Cthulhu. This isn't exactly why last episode I got life crystals, but this is the result of it. I knew that I was going to be fighting bosses soon. My health was just too low to do anything. The idea of fighting a boss was out of the question. So I knew I had to get help, and I did so by doing exactly what I did, exploring the underground desert. And part of that was for this, fighting the Eye of Cthulhu, because that's normally the first boss you'll fight. I got fortunate enough to have one spawn naturally, so I didn't have to use a summoning item, even though I have more than enough of those. Boss transforms here in this way. The boss moves so quickly. Here it is. It's extremely difficult to hit him with anything. If you can't tell, I'm voicing over this. I already have the recording. I think I lost the audio. I can't find it at least, so I just decided to do it over. It's better anyway, because in focus I can actually see what's happening and commentate on it, instead of just focusing on the boss too much. If you're to fight this boss on expert mode, no matter where you are, like early game or almost entering hard mode, I would suggest getting a mini shard. Because it's so hard, as you can see, so hard to hit him when he's moving this quickly. Just the amount of bullets you'll have to waste when using mini shard can be a lot. But, like trying to swing a sword or something at him, or even using a yo-yo, is just so unlikely to hit. As you can see, I did kill him though. I would recommend using the mini shard, just you have more chances of hitting him. It's hectic. It's very hectic. It looks very underwhelming in the video, but when I was fighting him, it was just spray and pray. Just hope that these are hitting. I couldn't even imagine if I was trying to use a bow. Don't use a bow. Oh, I can only imagine the accuracy rate going straight downhill from there. I think I might even fight it a second time, I'm not sure. Okay, I didn't end up fighting it a second time, but you can see the mad loot that I get here. Oh my gosh, wow. Anyway, this is just one boss fight out of many. I decided I would do a boss fighting episode, I suppose you could call it. All of these bosses that I should have fought so early ago, but couldn't because I didn't have the health, I'm deciding to fight now. So this is the first of many, so I will see you in the next boss fight. Alright, so admittedly this is a short one, but this is versus the Eater of Worlds. I want to kill the Eater of Worlds because I really want the Worm Scarf. It's so useful. It's minus 17% damage taken, if I remember the number correctly. It's somewhere around there. And since I'm massively over-prepared and the Eater of Worlds is a worm enemy, this fight is pretty easy. It's very easy. But that's because I'm over-prepared and it's a worm enemy. So just remember that. When I'm using my fiery longsword, it's hitting like, what, 20 segments at once? That's why it's so easy for me. It's such a long sword, hence the name, and it's hitting so many segments, it does a lot of damage, just shreds through this guy. And yeah, that's the fight right there. That's what happens when you're in late early game. See you on the next boss fight again, I guess. I don't open any mad loot this time, I'm sorry. So this time, Skeletron is up. A little bit of pre-boss fight preparations here. Getting my potions and imp staff. And Skeletron. I don't know what to think about this fight. As you see, I have the nurse here with me. I needed the nurse for this fight, even though I'm fully late gamed out. Which, I don't know, it's just odd to me. I did need the nurse in this fight, so it makes me wonder, am I just horrible at the game, or is Skeletron just an extremely difficult boss? Or was I not prepared enough? Because I mean, I could grab more potions, but it's like, how prepared do I need to be for this? Because I have endgame armor. I am full endgame. And you will see, I have, well, it's not that I had difficulties doing this. Obviously I did it, but it wasn't as easy as I would expect it to have been. There was still a very large risk of me dying. I figured there would be near no risk, but I was very, very wrong about that. So it just makes me wonder. I don't want to say... Oh, also right there, you could hear a shooting star, or fallen star, almost landed right on him. That should... Yeah, there it is. You can see the light of it right there. Imagine how lucky that would have been. Oh, that would have made it. That would have made it amazing. Sadly, I wasn't lucky enough though, but... I still have to wonder... Is this boss strong? Overpowered? Because like I said, I don't have enough information. But it seemed absurdly difficult to fight. I mean, of course, yes, I'm in expert mode. And even though it doesn't directly affect the difficulty of this boss fight, I'm also in hardcore. But it still makes me wonder, should it be this difficult to the point where I need the nurse even with hard mode armor? I don't know, having the nurse in a fight just feels like an absurd way to cheese any fight. I mean, you can't use it for every fight, because certain bosses will just clip through blocks, kill the nurse, and then you murder an NPC indirectly. You have to live with that. That's a few cents. Oh, another fallen star almost hit him. Oh, that one did hit him! I'm near certain that one hit him. Yo, that's awesome. I did not know that. I didn't see that in the original footage. How did I miss that? That hit him, right? I swear that looked like it hit him. I thought I saw it hit, but I question it because he still has such high health, but I could have sworn I saw the orange damage by him. Oh, I think that hit him, but I'm not certain. That's awesome. That's so cool. I didn't know I got that lucky. Based on his health, it would be likely that it hit him, and it's just, he just shaked it off. I think it does 1,000 damage, which is nice, but clearly not much to face this boss. As you can see, this is one of the places where I had to heal, and then all the health that I got, or most of it, just went away instantly. Oh yeah, by the way, 400 health? That's why I did those past episodes of getting life crystals. Well, past episode, one was missing. But overall, I don't know, like, this boss is still fun to fight, nonetheless, it's just... Is it too difficult, I wonder? I mean, it's hard right there, that stun lock. I almost die here. Very, very close to death. It's like, why? I mean, obviously I know why. I was too much of a fool to get out of it, but I don't know. The stun locks on this boss seem very absurd. You can deal with them, obviously, as I did just there. It's just very difficult. Oh, by the way, I'm using ice because frictionless. Even if I stop moving, I'm still moving in a direction, which helps me avoid his attacks. Of course, I do lose some mobility, and if I had the ice skates on, I would be moving faster, but since there's no asphalt here, because that's hard mode only, I used ice, because you still get some movement. I didn't use, that, what is it? Pink ice? I didn't use that. That was too expensive for this. There's no need. Anyone have ammo? I don't know. I almost died though. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, this boss is fun to fight, nonetheless. It's just, I wonder if it's a little too difficult. Because obviously you can dodge its attacks, and I have been doing a fairly good job at that. But I don't know, it just seems like it was very difficult for how overly kitted out I feel like I was. Maybe I wasn't all that kitted out, but as you can see, obviously I did end up killing it. A few celebratory shots there. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty bummed that I lost those boss fight episodes. So what I decided to do was recreate them. Essentially, it's the same thing. It's me fighting the boss. It's just, you know, I've already done it, so I've got experience. So maybe even this time I'll be better. Now, this first boss fight you're going to see, I use the Royal Gel, which is an item you get by killing King Slime, and I use it while fighting King Slime, which is a catch-22. You can use this item to help you in the boss fight, but you're not gonna get it until you kill the boss. So realizing that, I only realized this at the end of the boss fight. I even picked it out. I was like, you know, this is a great item to have for this boss fight. It only clicked at the end when I actually defeated it. I even walk in front of a slime spawned by it. It's like, you know, look what this is doing. But for some reason it didn't click until the end of the boss fight. So worry not, I do fight King Slime twice. I figured I would include the first recording because, you know, it's still good. I still fought the boss, I did good things, I made good decisions. I wanted to use a variety of weapons versus just using the same thing. That's why you could probably say I wasted some time swapping between weapons when I didn't really need to, but I just wanted to use different weapons instead of using the same thing. I don't know, added a little more spice to the fight, so to speak. If you're struggling with this boss fight too, do what I did. Use potions, of course. I had buff items. You can see the campfire, heart lantern, star in a bottle. Yeah, star in a bottle. Use those. There's another thing that's not coming to mind. Also, the sharpening station and bewitching table, if you can get access to that. Spiky balls. Put down spiky balls. Now, some of these things, like the bewitching table, you might not have access to. But if you're really struggling with any boss fight, just work towards those items. That'll really help you out. So like I said, since I used the Royal Gel the first time, I did fight it again. As you can see, without the Royal Gel, now it's the Obsidian Shield. Yeah, it's the Obsidian Shield. So, same premise, except this time it got stuck by my door there a few times, which actually helped me out greatly in the boss fight, but, you know, the environment is part of the battle, so... Oh, one thing I also realized is when it teleports to you, I mean, it's a little bit kind of obvious, but it stays on the ground. You can abuse that by flying above it and manipulating where it'll teleport, so that you're safe from harm, but it's also teleporting in the same spot. Now, of course, you can only do this by using the rocket boots for where I'm at, or by grappling hooks. That might be another way of doing it. However, with grappling hooks, you have to have blocks somewhere, so... But then again, it only teleports to your location, so you might be able to use that. Using grappling hooks? I'm not sure. I haven't tried it, but... I don't know, if you're really struggling with this boss fight, you can try that. I'm trying to give advice, because, you know, there's some people who won't be in pretty much the end of pre-hardmode. And since that's where I am, I can just annihilate any boss. So, a few celebratory shots again. But, yeah, that's the King Slime. 2 times. One with and one without Royal Gel. On to the Queen Bee. Now, to say the Queen Bee fight is more hectic is an understatement. I think, I could be wrong, but I think the Queen Bee fight is much more difficult. She has much higher health. It didn't help that I started out with lower health, but I'm obviously way overprepared for this. Advice I would give for this boss, use the water bolt in a room like I'm doing right now. It's very effective, as can be seen right there. Very effective. When Queen Bee is going through these cycles, get water bolts in. If you haven't, use the crimson rod. Because if you happen to get the Queen Bee in one place where it stays, right there, and use the crimson rod, that is a lot of damage that can be done. And of course, use honey at the bottom. I did this platform setup where I also had honey right at the bottom, so I can just jump down, and I'll do that a few times. It greatly increases your health regen, and it lasts 30 seconds when you first exit honey. So it's a very nice buff to get. You just are slowed for 1 or 2 seconds if you just jump in and quickly get out. And then you can just continue the fight with advanced regen. I also used the Bezoar in this fight. That is a very, very, very helpful item. As you can see, I didn't even need to use a potion during either of these fights, so I was over repairing. But part of that was because I used the Bezoar. You would take a lot of additional unnecessary damage. It's almost impossible for you to dodge every single attack. You're going to get hit by one or two. So having that Bezoar will prevent the poison damage. It's just going to help you out overall. And of course, as you can be seen there, using the water will be extremely effective. If you're in expert mode, the lower health Queen Bee has, the quicker it moves between attack patterns. So it does get a little bit hectic and hard to attack, and like right there, it was just in sitting still right after doing this sweep attack, and then right back into the sweep attacks. So it's more, you have to be on your feet with things, especially if you're early on. I had 400 health here too, forgot about that, and max health, so that greatly helps me. Oh, as you can see, I forgot to mention this hard nitrogen starting to bottle again, and there's a campfire in the center there. And this is where it really starts to speed up. You can see the Queen Bee is moving much faster now. As it's so low on health, which means the fight is almost over. I don't say the equipment that I use, so just pause the video to see. It's hard to, I didn't actually write down the names. But Bezoar is essential for this fight. If you're trying to fight King Slime again, the Royal Slime Gel will greatly help you in that. I don't think melee is viable for either of these fights. You're just gonna take too much damage and not have enough output, unless you're using the enchanted sword. I did get the sharpened buff, but I never actually used it, because I didn't use any melee. It's about to end here. It's just too difficult, especially on Queen Bee to fight with melee. Yeah, there it is, I win. It's just too difficult to fight Queen Bee with melee. You're going to be hit too many times, taking way too much damage, much more than you should. It's unnecessary. Just make sure you have at least some range for this fight. But overall, it shouldn't be that horrible. I mean, what's the minimum I went in this fight? I went 200 health, lowest. Oh, also looped, by the way. So, yeah. That does it for all the boss fights in this episode. That is every boss, I think. Pretty certain. Minus the Wall of Flesh, of course, because that's coming later. So, on that note, thank you all so much for joining me on another episode of Terraria. Hope you enjoyed. We have done quite a lot on this episode, even though I've already done the things that I'm showing. But, okay, stuff happens. Anyhow, thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of Terraria. I will hopefully see you on the next one. So, if I will, see you there.